Yo, what's up, y'all? This be Johnny and Jamo from Ship Podcast, letting you know to like and subscribe to us on any listening platforms you may be able to listen to podcasts. We are on Google, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube. All right, man. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to another episode of the Jamo's Journal. Jamo's Journal is a branch from the Ship Podcast, and of course, it's your boy Jamo71 motherfucking 3 checking up in this thing. We're gonna have a great episode. I got my guy Johnny on the ones and twos in the background as always.
Hello, everybody.
You know, he's gonna be back there doing his thing, holding it down like he always do. And on this episode, we're gonna have a pretty good one, man. Like how y'all always do. Like, what's gonna be the difference, right? But on this one, we're gonna talk about Ralo Fam Goon. Now, if you would like to who this guy in the fucking comments of academics, you know what I'm saying, shit, or one of these dudes, then I'm gonna tell you exactly who he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break it down, the situation that he's in. Like, he just signed for federal prison time. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna have a little few tidbits that I'm gonna throw in there. I'm not gonna tell you guys what the tidbits are, because they'll be like short and sweet. They won't be nothing too, you know what I'm saying, long and thoughtful. They'll just be something very short and sweet. Just mention, shall I say. But that podcast that what really brought me to the mic was I wanted to do a episode on someone that I've been watching since I've been watching people talk about sports, pretty much, like as far as in commentating outside of the game. I've been hard on them a lot lately because when you make it to a certain place in life, you get judged, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm just judging. And I don't want to wait until something bad happens to this man for me to appreciate everything that he's doing and everything that he's done. So I wanted to give him his flowers. I wanted to talk about, what he means to the sports world, in my opinion, and what I like about the guy, to say the truth. And the guy we talking about on this episode will be Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, like when I first started watching ESPN, not first start watching, but like my teenage ESPN years, Stephen A. was the guy that I was like so happy to hear talk about things, because I felt he could relate. I could relate to him. He gave us a lot of the stuff, what I call I could say like it felt like he was the first time I heard barbershop talk on like ESPN. Like, he was really saying shit that I was thinking. I would see guys go through Sports Center and do the whole goddamn show, and they just introducing me to information. But he would sit back and ask a question like, who the hell does this guy think he is, to, you know what I mean? Or when a guy's playing bad, to call him out on his bad game instead of just showing the stats and letting us say read the obvious. He'll be like, he was ass tonight. If he bring his half of what he, you know what I'm saying, just what he brought to the sports was unique when I first heard it as a youngster. I was like 14, 15 listening to it. It was just so unique, and I was like, I like this guy, man. And I remember when I went to prison, and I was like, I missed ESPN. I missed cold pizza because Stephen A. was on there debating every day. And the reason it made me want to talk about him is because I had one of the moments where I just sat back and said, if Stephen A. was to pass right now, anything bad happened to Stephen A. Smith, everybody would be, man, we would find out how much he really meant to the community of sports. We would find out all the black people he put on, all the execs, all the producers, all of the analysts. We would get a chance to really, you know what I'm saying, the doors that he opened in the media game. We would get a chance to really appreciate that. And I'm like, why do we have to wait for somebody to pass to like appreciate it? So it made me want to sit back and think of all of the things that he's done, look around the room, and then think about when I was that 14, 15-year-old dude looking at ESPN, and then look at ESPN now and just look at all the different faces, the type of characters that we have up there. And I'm like, maybe if Stephen A. wasn't up there talking all that shit 15 years ago, Kendrick Perkins wouldn't even be allowed to walk on ESPN campus. Maybe Jay Will would, but maybe Keyshawn Johnson wouldn't. Even how he is, the opinions that he had, maybe he would have to be more curtailed, more put in a box. So I feel like Stephen A. did show them, he opened up a different market in the sense of, in the minds of media, to show them something else works outside of just giving a nigga stats and highlights and saying, come on, putting little fucking cool ass words around them. We want real opinions. And I feel like Stephen A., and I'm pretty sure with people who done it before him, but I feel like he's the one that brought it all the way out to the forefront to where you were able to hire a lot of people that were not like Stephen A., but they were in that genre. Stephen A. pretty much he can damn near have his own genre if I was smart enough to classify it. I'm just don't know media genres, and I know media genres, but I wouldn't know how to take his specifics and separate them from the other things that people can't do or they don't do that would make his genre the Stephen A. genre. To put the people in it specifically, other than what I call barbershop talk.
I actually like that, man. I actually do like that. Like Stephen A. Smith, man. Yeah, we had to give him his followers. I'm like, I actually thought about it, like, you know how we used to always give him smoke and heat and whatnot, but how you just put that shit down poetically beautiful.
Yep, and I was been one of the hardest critics of Stephen A. in the last 3 years. I've been telling my nephew like how I feel like he's changed and how I feel like this and that, but honestly, I've changed, and that's okay. I started watching Stephen A. when I was 15, and now I'm 32. Stephen A. He still get paid to do the same job, talk about some of the same shit, and go about it somewhat of the same way. It's me that like want him, I guess, you know what I'm saying? So you sometimes gotta sit back and look at yourself and realize that even when Stephen A. first came in the door, right? Would I want the first person, black president, to get caught doing some nigga shit in the White House? Do I want you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want him to go in that bitch and fuck it up for everybody else behind him. So I wouldn't expect him to come in and just try to really barbershop talk it. I would expect him to say, hit us with the if you know you know kind of language. But he really different from everybody else at the same time, not by just being loud, but by challenging athletes, letting them know you can call me. We never got that kind of like dialogue from people to where it felt like he was talking to that athlete, not about him. Because he was like, you felt like he had the dude's number, like they would reach out to him. He would come back on the show the next day and be like, I talked to old boy about that we had. It's cool, we all cool. He just had some shit with Jamie Foxx, where Jamie Foxx was calling him out about some shit he said. Damn, it was some shit he said about somebody. I think it was about Kyrie. I don't know, it was about somebody though. And Jamie Foxx was like, basically, I don't hear you talk about white athletes like this. You always going at the black people. And Stephen A. say, nigga, the next day he came on the shit, he said, we talk for an hour. We disagree when we talk, but we talk. So look, just for y'all thinking it's smoke, we got smoke on this kind of shit. Ain't no real smoke in real life. Everybody say that about Stephen A. They say one thing about Stephen A. is he a real one. You call him, he gonna answer. He gonna have the same energy. He ain't gonna say, man, I was just on TV talking. He gonna say, what you do? Did you score 30 or did you score 13? Like, he gonna really, so I'm supposed to get up there and act like you didn't get up there and lay a goose egg last night. That's my job to tell the truth. You want me to get up there and lie. Like, Stephen A. gonna tell you the truth, like that's what it is, and I respect that. I don't wanna get too caught up in the character of Stephen A. and who I really think how I think he is. I just wanna get caught up in who I think he is, and I know he's a GOAT. He's the GOAT, like.
Oh, for sure. Honorary
like,
GOAT, yeah.
He do what people can't do. He put so many other motherfuckers in position, and he do what he want to do, and it works. Like, so kudos to Stephen A. Smith, man. Much love, much life. I hope we get another 30 years out of you doing this shit, man. And I pray that everyone can start to appreciate him more, I guess, because he's like the best we got is like LeBron. Now LeBron about to retire the next couple of years. We're gonna see how bad niggas how fucked up shit really is without this nigga. So I just kudos to him, man. And that's it on Stephen A.
All right, let's give that man an applause if I got the button right.
Now the second one I promised to tell you guys about, what's Ralo Fam Goon?
Yeah, who is Ralo Fam Goon?
Ralo Fam Goon is a guy from Atlanta. He's a guy, he got locked up in, I believe, 2017 for marijuana charges. He's been sitting in Fulton County. Since then, he just got sentenced to 8 years in federal prison for the marijuana charges. and he got almost 5 years done. If he get his GED and take a drug class, he should be home beginning of the next year. But he's a guy that I think he's like 26, 25 years old. He's around little baby age. He I don't want to speak on what he did illegally. Like, I'm gonna speak on the case, but I'm saying the other shit. Like, he was a street guy. That was a very successful street guy, right? Young guy at this time. He bought an apartment complex, renovated it, and moved all his homies and everybody in, so everybody had their own spot. You know what I'm saying? But what he was convicted of was trafficking almost $2 million worth of marijuana from California to Atlanta on a private jet on 2 different trips. So, big marijuana charge. They got him for that, and then using the private jets to do it. Like, it's the way he trafficked it. He would have probably got caught in a car with, I guess that's that's probably 1,000 pounds of weed though. Thousands of pounds for $2 million.
Federal.
Yeah, that's thousands of pounds of weed. So, basically I just want to speak on his situation. And the reason I did want to speak on his situation is because the way he got caught, right? He got caught because he boarded up. For one, he was already on Fed watch. If you're getting pulled over every day, if you're getting your bags checked at every airport, if you're getting pulled over in different states, it's Fed. If you're in your own state and you're getting pulled over, it could be some state shit. But if you're going to different states and getting pulled over, Feds on your ass, right? And that was happening to him. He was documented in a lot. So that was strike one. He should already know I can't do nothing, be close to nothing, because these bitches on my ass. Strike two was, and I can't give him a strike for this. This is a strike, not his strike. Is he boarded the plane and refused to give a list of who he was riding with. And that's what they do. When you book a private plane, you be like, me and 8 passengers. They want to literally know the name of all the 8 passengers. And if you refuse to give them, they can report that to the feds. And if the feds decide, who is it? Man, that guy probably with nobody. He probably just don't got them thoughts with him. He a married man. He can't put these hoes on his list. But when they look up and see it's Ralo fam gone, they like, who was Ralo? He ain't want to tell us who the other 6, 7 passengers was? Bet. So what they do is they get the SUVs, they pull up to the tarmac, and they pull up on him. And when he getting out, they like, no, don't worry. We're going to unload them bags for you, bro. And they unload the bags, and the bags got a gang of weed in them. And he in the fucking private jet with them, right? So it's like, how the fuck? They got guns, all kind of shit, of course, but the guns all illegal. They, they roll militant. He's a Islamic guy. They roll literally like, it look like they're the nation the way they roll, bro. The apartment complex was guarded by niggas with AKs, like he fucking Pablo Escobar got a fortress and shit. But, and the reason I say that to say about the one thing I wanted to point out the most was the private jet part, right, with the no names. That's what got Juice WRLD, right? Juice WRLD was on a private jet flying from California to, I guess, Chicago with, he didn't want to give up the names of the people, or whoever booked the flight didn't give up the names. Feds was there to meet them. 42 Doug, another rapper I listen to, he from Detroit. He in Feds right now. He booked a flight and didn't want to tell them who was on it. Guess who was waiting on the motherfucking tarmac? The Feds. So, 2 things. If you're going to do something illegal, try to make it, like I always say this, you can't do something, if you doing bad, try to make it look as normal as possible. Like, don't be out here motherfucking kabooming in the fucking public. Don't just learn how to do it. And tell them everybody's on the plane, do everything in plain sight, make everything look normal, nigga. And that's what they did, fell on a lot. Plus, them private jets probably ain't the lick when it come to moving weight. Because if the feds can meet me when I land, it ain't like a car I can go on a run. It ain't like nothing else where I can just, I'm taking a different interstate. Once I board that plane with them packs, nigga, I'm caught. If they already made the decision to come. So I feel like that's a different thing too. Like, as far as just the people out there trafficking and stuff, just the pattern of ways they got caught, I feel like people should pay more attention to. So I want to kind of give people the information on him getting that 8 years, because he had been sitting in prison, in county jail since 2017. So he finally got sentenced, and then people were curious, so what is he gonna get sentenced? $2 million worth of weed. So they let people know also, nigga, if you want to take a risk, nigga, take a big risk. Y'all niggas going to jail for robbing a goddamn corner store for $500 and getting 15 goddamn years. This nigga had $2 million worth of weed and got 8 years. If you gonna do anything, go big, go fed, baby.
Wow, that's a crazy story. You I ain't gonna lie, you wowed me when I heard that this nigga was actually moving the shit on a private jet.
Like he got down a jet he didn't own.
Crazy.
This nigga riding. That's
crazy.
That's a nigga. He done took the Greyhound to a whole nother level. That nigga took the Amtrak to a whole nother level.
Megabus. You could have did Megabus.
You can't put 1,000 pounds on the Megabus though.
If you got 8 niggas in your entourage and you divide that shit, yeah you can't.
I just sent a lot of niggas on trips though, no cap. But that was that to say that. One of the tidbits I want to give you guys, I don't know if you give a fuck or not. I really don't be caring. It's just one thing I always want to point out. I give you guys the news you probably care about the most, and then I always throw the shit in there that I care about the most. Because there's always a lesson in everything. The news is Gunna and Young Thug were denied bond. Young Thug just had another bond hearing today. Today is being June 2nd, Thursday, June 2nd. And he was denied. Kevin Lyles, the executive of the label that he signed to, was actually in court crying, saying Young Thug's a good guy, and they still didn't work. So that's the information you guys would like to hear. Like, y'all want the information on that, right? Young Thug didn't get bond. Kevin Lyles came in and cried. Young Thug gonna have to probably sit in jail until he goes through trial. The part I want to point out is Gunna. Gunna them out here thugging, living their life, doing all this shit, right? Getting good money for rapping and all that shit, and that's cool. But Gunna was willing to give up everything that makes his lifestyle different from ours just to get out of jail, bro. He told him, I'll give y'all my cars, my house, y'all can freeze my bank accounts, take my passport, just let me out this bitch, man. And ankle monitor, nigga, I'll stay in the house, nigga. I ain't going nowhere. I'm willing to do nothing, nigga, just to get out. And that's what a lot of people get to when they go to jail, and that's cool. And I just pointed that out to say, if you could remember that shit, and if the niggas that don't have to touch the stove to know it's hot can just think of that shit and see, it ain't that lit when it's lit. You know what I'm saying? When shit get hot, shit ain't that lit, bro. I promise you.
For real. I've been looking at this story too, man. Like, I knew Young Thug was gonna get denied bail, but I was like, I actually had like a little percentage for Gunna.
I had a little percentage for Gunna. But Gunna got in there and tried to give up everything. He still didn't get out. That doesn't mean that he's not going to get out at a later date. With it being state, he probably won't. If it was federal, he probably would.
It's funny because Young Thug really couldn't get his bail because the judge that they had at the time was not issued to like pass a bail. That was fucked up. I say, damn, they knew what they did. They knew what they did when they put that woman on that screen.
Yeah. He had some other things that he had to take care of, though, with his lawyer. He wanted a certain lawyer, and his lawyer could possibly have had to testify, which they cleared up in court today that his lawyer would not have to testify because his lawyer was a lawyer to other people on some other cases.
Yeah, that they call it a point of interest. Something like that, like a person of interest or something like that. It's like
a conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest. Yes.
Yeah, so that was a conflict of interest, but they ruled it, I guess, not a conflict of interest, denied his bond. But I was just saying, like, that shit look cool when niggas out thugging, but if you got a thug to get paid, then you got to think about that consequence. For one, you either got to be ready to sit down and hide the bag, come home, live good, or you got to be willing to shut it down a little bit to, like, realize, man, I might not want to do all this shit to go to jail, because when I go to jail, none of this shit even matters anyway. Other than me having taken pictures, I can show people the pictures and tell them these long ass elaborate stories of the lit ass shit I did when I was out. And that shit ain't gonna do nothing but make you stress more, cause you looking at it like, fuck, I was doing that shit and now I'm doing this shit. So think about shit more, just a little more perspective into, like, when niggas on those songs saying they don't give a fuck about the cops and nigga, I die for this shit. Nigga won't even go to jail for that shit for like a possible trial, like facing 20 years when you could possibly get 10. Nigga, you won't die for shit. You ain't willing to give up a piece of your life for that shit, nigga. But when it comes to being in jail, you willing to give up all of your life for that shit. Which kind of made me think, like, man, I would have been like his co-defendant. And I heard my co-defendant was willing to give up his house, his mama house, the house he bought his mama. he was gonna get that shit up too.
The nigga basically did like a crucifixion of bankruptcy.
Bro's like, me and mama gonna go hole up in a Motel 6, man. Y'all can put like 2 police outside to watch us. But he ain't say all that. He did say he would sell his mama, like they could take his mama house or hold it for whatever the fuck, however they do it for forfeiture. But what made me think is, if I was his co-defendant, one of the things I would think is, if he willing to give up all that nigga give me up. Like, how could you not think that shit?
Yeah, because I thought about that too when you first mentioned it. It kind of was an afterthought. But the thing was like, nigga, they gonna press the fuck out you. If they give you bail, they gonna press you. Let's see if like, you know, let's see if he's solid.
I don't think it's gonna be nothing to do with solid. I just think him being from where he from, he can't tell. Like, certain niggas know. It's like, you watch movies before, you seen shows before where you be like, tell me or I'ma kill you. If I tell you, I'ma die anyway. You've heard a nigga say that before, right? In a movie or something.
Yes, sir.
And that's kind of what it is a lot of times in situations where niggas want to tell. Nigga probably want to tell his goddamn ass out. He want to write a goddamn song about it and say, you know, use these lyrics, possibly.
Oh no, like I said, that the feds gonna press him if they were to give him bail.
But being from Atlanta, he'll never ever be able to show his fucking cut a dread off and try to like get it mailed to Atlanta without.
And we talking 42 Doug, huh?
Nah, we talking Gunna.
Gunna, what's the? Oh yeah, my fault. I was thinking 42 Doug for some reason, but Gunna, yeah, the Gunna's from no. You see, I got that mixed up like a motherfucker.
Gunna's from Atlanta.
Yeah, I was thinking 42 Doug is from Detroit because I thought Gunna
42 was from Detroit.
Yeah, but you know, same difference and shit like that. He couldn't show his face.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to show him being a celebrity, plus all the shit he talked to Sakashi, like, so he would never be able to come out and make money off music again. So I feel like just with his livelihood and everything, he gonna have to deal with the shit. He probably hoping another nigga snitching, they all just got to plea out. Cause that's usually what happens. The shit not going to trial.
It's like 28 niggas in this bitch, you heard me? Someone's gonna tell something. Somebody's gonna tell something. Whoever got the least amount of time looking, they gonna say something.
And that's gonna speed the case up.
Yup.
Because once you get told on, if I'm denying I'm doing all this shit, but the nigga I did it with is willing to go testify on stand every single thing we done, I literally have no win in trial. What's the fucking point in going to trial? Literally, I done sat here like you got evidence upon evidence. You not only can tell them shit, you can tell them, hey, call so and so and confirm this. Hey, man, I can take you to where they dumped the gun at. Hey, I can tell you, look, this like he can break the whole setups down to you. And when that shit start happening, you gotta go to your lawyer gonna come to you and just say, hey, they talking about this. This is what they're talking about. 10 or you think you can do 10? You think you can take the 12? I'm gonna go say 12. I'm gonna go ask for 12. Okay, look. But what he'll do is see if you can do 12, but he gonna go ask for like 8. Hey, can I give my guy 8? They gonna say, nah, fuck that. This nigga did too much shit. He gonna say 20's the max, man. I'll do 10. We gonna go halfway. They gonna say, nah, we want a little bit more over half. Then he gonna say 12 is the highest I go. If not 12, we gonna reset. Prosecutor think about it, be like, I got this nigga from 8 to 12. But the nigga done already agreed to 12 in the back. But he just hoping to try to be a good lawyer, and if the prosecutor say the 8, then he can come back and say, I got you 8, because your mind was already on the 12. So it's all a game.
He played the number game on that.
It's all a number game, but that's how it goes when you with co-defendants. But also that's how you have co-defendants when you want to be gang. You don't have 28 co-defendants if you don't want to be the biggest gang in fucking Atlanta. If you don't want to employ niggas and have niggas riding with you and be around a gang of niggas throwing up a bunch of hand signals, wearing a bunch of the same colors, talking a bunch of shit, and you got money, you know that shit pissed the laws off. You can be a broke nigga. Niggas in Greenspoint can do that shit all day, but don't let them niggas start parking Bentleys and Benzes up in Greenspoint. Nigga, they gonna run every goddamn body up out there. They gonna start taking them niggas to jail.
For sure. They gonna pop up. I already know.
That's when you start planting shit on niggas. Like, nigga, that crack is yours. Nigga, we don't even sell crack no more. No, nigga, that crack is yours, nigga. That crack look like you got that shit from the 90s, nigga. Old ass package. Shit stuck to the plastic, nigga. I could have never even had that shit on me. But Thank you guys for listening, man. That was good talk, man. Flowers for Stephen A. A little bit of information of Ralo. You know, a little bit of tidbits and a little bit of learning from lessons from Young Thug and Gunna's situation. And that's just what we do here at Jamo's Journal, man. We be well-rounded. We kind of like to fuck with all your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like tap on your brain a little bit. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out, Jamo713 on PlayStation. I'd rather you meet me there because you can talk to me, play games with me. You know, I play Fortnite. That's a free game. If you don't got it, get it, bitch. But you know, 713 Jamo713 on Instagram, Jamo713 everywhere. But Still the Ship is everywhere. That's the main brand. That's the main page. You know, if you can't spell, I'm sorry, I'm not spelling it out for you today. Like, tell your phone, tap the little mic button and say Still the Ship. And we go from there. Until next time, it's the boy and it's the boys. We out.
Peace.